What's up, YouTube? My name is Brian, the Casual Brian, and this is my video on why I think Diane is toxic. If you've been following along, there's a 4-part series that I've been dropping through the week, just 4 examples of why I think Diane was toxic, or examples when Diane was being toxic. But in this video, I'm just going to kind of slowly talk about why I feel like Diane is toxic. Because I know a lot of people actually consider Diane to be the best person in Bojack. And I do think by the end of the series, she is one of the best people in Bojack, but I still think that she gets a pass when she shouldn't get a pass. So let's get into it. So right off from the start, the thing about Diane that I don't love is that she seems to think that she's different or better than everyone else. And everyone in the show is pretty much dealing with their own issues. I wouldn't say like someone like Todd is toxic, but you know, at the beginning, he's not a great person. I think he gets a lot of a pass because he's carefree and he's generally a nice person, but he was sponging off Bojack. So the first thing that like really bothered me about Diane was the fact that she feels like she has to be a crusader. She has to fight for causes that no one's asking her to fight for. A good example of this, and this is one of the part of the series I did, is when she was upset about the water. She's talking to her friend who's like basically telling her, why do you keep going to Bojack? You could have come to any one of us, but you keep going to Bojack. And the whole time, Diane's not listening. And she's upset about the water. And that's what Diane does. She deflects, and that allows her to continue to feel like she's better than others. Another example of this is when she's on the roof with that same friend, I believe. And then Todd comes out to get advice about whether he should get married or not. And Diane's like, I'm a really good friend. And the great thing that they're doing is they're showing that she's actually not a really good friend. Because to her actual friend, she's crap. She's not listening to her. She's not paying attention to her. So it's the thing that I'm getting in a lot of my comments is that people say, well, Diane is the least toxic person on Bojack. We all know Bojack is toxic and terrible. We all know Beatrice is toxic and terrible. I think some would consider Mr. Peanut Butter to have issues. I don't know if they would call him toxic, although he does have very serious issues. I think that's the point of Bojack. Everybody in life has issues. And so you really shouldn't feel like you can look down or judge others because we're all dealing with some kind of issues. We might not be Sarah Lynn, but we might be Mr. Peanut Butter. We might be Diane. And I think that Diane seems to lack that awareness. I think that's the purpose, her purpose on the show. She lacks the awareness that I have issues too until the end, until she comes to peace with who she is through her boyfriend Guy and through just kind of accepting that it's okay to just be a regular author. She was really good at what she did. And it's okay to take the medicine and get the help that you need. You know, I know a lot of people in real life struggle with reaching out to get help because then they feel like I'm broken, I'm a failure, I'm this, and this, when in reality, you're none of those things. You just need a little help. We all need help. And so that's what makes me upset. You know, there's the instance where she goes to Bojack's house and she's staying there and she ultimately causes Bojack and Wanda to split up. That's on Diane. Yes, Bojack has a large part to do with it, but a large part of that was on Diane. You can't tell me that we don't know. It's only speculation, but we don't know what would have happened. But even worse than that was when she found out what happened in New Mexico and she writes it into the script and causes Bojack to relive that trauma. Now, you might be saying, well, Bojack is no saint. What do you mean Bojack's trauma? Bojack has trauma about that. And for Diane to do that in that open way to somebody that's supposed to be her friend, that's terrible. That was a terrible way of handling that situation. But we just give Diane a pass. Well, Diane's trying. Yeah, but at a certain point, trying is not simply enough. Just because you mean well doesn't excuse bad behavior. And Diane has a list of bad behavior. And people, again, well, they'll say, well, what about Diane's parents? What about Beatrice? What about Bojack? No, it's not about what about. All those people are wrong. All those people have issues that need to be dealt with. But it doesn't excuse Diane's behavior. It just doesn't. And we have to stop trying to excuse Diane's behavior. And I have the biggest issue with, because at least Bojack knows that he's messed up. At least Sarah Lynn knew she was messed up. You know what I mean? At least Beatrice knew that she was a terrible mother, but not Diane. And so it's for that reason that I struggle. I do not like Diane. And I found that like until the very, very end, her character arc drove me crazy. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. I've heard a lot of them in the comments, and I really appreciate everybody taking the time to leave comments. If you enjoy this, give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more. I'm going to drop a longer form video every Monday and Friday breaking down some of my thoughts on some of the things that I'm dropping in my shorts. So if you enjoy, subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time.